on the idea that what I'm calling intermittent fasting, which you're calling having these smaller feeding windows, would you still recommend that for someone who's putting themselves under really strenuous exercise? I'm talking, an hour, 90 minutes a day of strenuous exercise, number one. Number two, can you get enough protein to sustain that sort of muscle tear down and rebuilding without eating meat, particularly steak and even, some sorts of chicken? What are your thoughts on those two things?
Right. Well, many people have seen the documentary Game Changers.
Yes, I've
I'm
seen it.
sure
That's
you've
why I'm
seen it.
asking you.
Yeah. Well, you can. You just have to eat a lot more of
Mhm.
plants. Tons of spinach, a lot, right, to make
Yeah,
up
a
for it.
lot, a lot.
It's really quite a lot.
Yeah.
Or you can take some protein. But what's different about plants is they have a different ratio of amino acids that shuts down the mTOR and then protects the body.
Got it.
And what mTOR is doing that's beneficial is mainly what it does is recycles old protein. And as we get older, we build up all this old crappy protein that's oxidized and misfolded. It causes Alzheimer's, but it's causing all sorts of diseases. And mTOR, when it senses there's not enough amino acid supply, it'll start recycling your old proteins first, not the young ones. And then that turnover is what fasting is
That's
all
fascinating.
about.
Okay.
And if you're eating a lot of meat, you won't turn over the old protein. And that'll build up and build up and build up. So
Okay.
I think probably what we'll find the optimum is,
Mm.
and if you allow me to speculate
Yeah.
as a scientist, is that it's all about variety.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're a steak lover or 3 meals a day plus snacks and you want to build up your body, you'll still benefit from some periods during the week or during the month of skipping meals and putting your body in a state where it does recycle those proteins
Mm-hmm.
and get mTOR to shut down. Because if mTOR is on all the time, we know this in animals. They live short. It's like live
Okay.
fast, die young.
Okay.
They look great,
Yeah.
but they die young. And I'm all about having a long, healthy life.
I know you are. Yeah.
But I think weightlifting is really important. I do it myself, not as much as I should for lack of time, but
Mm-hmm.
the benefits there are huge on male hormones, women as well.
Okay.
You don't just look good, you feel good, you have bounce in your step.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that. Bit of aerobics as well, of course, is essential as well to get your body into what's called the hypoxic, low oxygen state.
Yes.
And that will trigger the same defenses that we're talking about as fasting.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the theme, Ed, is that this hormesis effect, it can be triggered in many different ways through the same mechanisms. One is lack of these amino acids. The other is, I just mentioned, exercise and low
Yep.
oxygen. But you can also do a cold plunge. You can do a sauna. There's even hyperbaric oxygen chambers. Have you heard of these?
Of course.
Yes. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Big thing in California here.
It is.
Not so much in Massachusetts, but yet. But what we're doing is putting the body out of its normal healthy state for a little bit to see.
Okay.
When you weightlift, you're tearing muscle.
Right. That's why I was hoping you were going to tell me that physical strenuous training like that is in fact putting your body in that survival hormesis type state.
100%.
Okay.
And there's a type of hormesis that's particularly beneficial, which I don't talk about much, so it's
Okay.
good to share it here.
Yeah.
It's called mitohormesis.
Okay.
So, mitochondria, the power packs of the cell, they're little ancient bacteria that swim in our cells,
Mm-hmm.
and they can multiply, and we want more of them to be healthy. And as we get older, we have less and less of them, and they're not very active. Now, one way to trigger their activity to make them younger and more abundant
Mm-hmm.
is to give them some stress, give them some perceived adversity or hormesis, mitohormesis. So one way to do that is to exercise, okay? And you'll
Good.
get free radicals, damage the mitochondria. They'll go, holy crap, I don't make enough energy. And then they multiply, and then you get younger, okay? The other thing
Okay.
you can do is, because you're running out of oxygen, those mitochondria get worried that there's not enough and they need to make more. But also having high barometric pressure oxygen, this
Okay.
HBOT, I think that it's working in part because it's also causing free radicals in mitochondria and making the mitochondria panic. So it's interesting, right? You can run out of oxygen by running, literally running, or have too much oxygen. And this, I think it's the same effect. It's those power packs of the cell getting worried that something's out of whack,
Okay.
and they adjust. And it's just like exercise. You get the
Okay.
benefits. And the same is true for all these other things that we do. If you're cold,
Okay.
that cold shock will boost your mitochondrial activity.
Okay. So